Welcome back. Well, you may recognize our next guest from Troubadour, Texas, or maybe you've been lucky enough to see him perform. His soulful blend of pop, country, and R&B has been critically acclaimed, and today he is in the hot seat for He Says, She Says, is sponsored by the Blue Martini Lounge. Welcome,
Do we have any
Gary,
of those blue
Lynn,
martinis?
Floyd. No, we need them actually for this, don't we? Gary, I'm so glad you're with us today. Thank you.
It's great
and
to be
of
here.
course, we're going to hear you perform. Did you bring your fan club with you?
Did you pay them to do
dressed up
that?
for me too.
We will hear you perform in a moment. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a Texas boy, yes?
Yes, I grew up in Conroe, down close to Houston, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been singing and playing music and writing songs since I was 14. So, playing piano since I was 5.
Oh, wow.
So it's all my life.
Did you
know?
just sit down at
It's
the
what I
piano
was-
when you were 5 years old and just start pecking around and then decided you wanted to pursue it?
I did. My older sister was taking piano lessons, and she would work on her songs, and then I would, apparently, I don't really remember, but I'd go in and pick out the melody of what she just done. She was like, "Mom, Gary's bullying me again." Like 4 years old, I don't know about bullying.
Mom, Gary's playing my song better than I did again.
But you know, we were talking in the back, and what touched me about you is that you said that you believe that your music is inspirational.
Yes.
And that it's being used to touch lives
Yes.
around the world. Tell us a little bit about your music.
I hope that anything that I do, really in my life, but especially with my music, just helps to raise the vibration of my world, and hopefully the greater world too. That means that I'm doing something right. But it's always been my vision and my inspiration just to build people up through my music.
What is one of your favorite lines or passages in a song?
Well, I guess my favorite song that I've written is a song called Unbound. And I guess the favorite line, it starts out, it says, "Open your mind, unfold your heart, relax your senses, feel every part."
Oh, that's great.
And
That's
it's just
beautiful.
about letting go into the moment. You know, we all are we just have a continuous succession of present moments in our lives. And
And most of us don't live in the present moment.
it's a difficult thing.
and you wrote this for something, right?
Well, I wrote the song, but then there's an organization called Global Women's Empowerment Network that has
Gwen,
adopted
we
them.
had on the show a
Gwen,
couple
you
weeks
had
ago,
Tess Cacciatore on, and they've adopted the song as their theme song. So
What was
it's
the first
helping
song
to-
you wrote that somebody else sang and you thought, well, they're singing my song?
Long ago, I wrote a song. There was a Christian artist named Steve Archer, and it was a song called "If You Were the Only One." And he recorded the song, and it got a lot of airplay. It went to #1 on the Christian charts.
Oh,
wow.
Way back in the day. But yeah,
your
so that
first
was the
one?
really first one that somebody else sang, and I was like, oh wow, I'm hearing it on the radio. It's very
Okay,
cool.
Gary, so I can already tell that you're a very deep thinker. You are very, sensitive
Yes.
to people around you. So our topic today, He Says, She Says, we would like to know what you think. Are women just inherently more sensitive than men? Do
Not after
You
hearing
put me
him.
right
Do
in
we
the middle of
I
all
did.
you to
Yeah,
answer this
that's
question.
why we call it hot seat.
We need another question here.
But are women, do we take things more personally? Do we get our feelings hurt easier? What do you think? What have you seen in your...
I think women can be more sensitive, but you're talking to a songwriter that a lot of my songs are about my evolution and my struggles, and so I'm a pretty sensitive guy. So I can be sensitive. I know men who can be sensitive, but I think that women can be as well. I think it all is...
I think women may be sensitive to their own feelings, but not always to the other person's feelings.
I don't know. Other people
Okay.
can make me cry like that if I'm in a certain kind of mood.
Yeah.
Am I feeling especially sensitive?
Yeah, I think but I think that life is about balance, and I think we need the balance of sensitivity, and if women happen to have that, then,
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a little...
What does sensitivity
Much.
mean?
Too much.
If we boiled it down, what does it mean? To
Well-
feel for others, to feel...
Ideally, I think empathy maybe.
Yeah, it would be like feeling
But
for
then what
others,
does
right?
sensitive mean?
Sensitive, I think it's similar to empathy, but then if it crosses a line, then sensitive can also mean
Too emotional.
taking
But you know
things
what's funny? I think
personally.
now if
Too
someone calls you,
emotional.
oh, you're so sensitive. Like, that's not a compliment, I don't feel
somebody
like.
says
to
that to me, I'm like,
if someone says, you're so sensitive, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, do not. Like, I will, like,
take it
flip the
personally.
switch
That's
and be
when
like,
ghetto Courtney comes out.
yeah.
And maybe with men, it's like if someone said I was sensitive, I'd take it a little more as a compliment that
I
it
would too.
Unless
See, but I think
it's
a
you're
man would
too
take it
sensitive.
as a
See,
compliment, but I think
too
a woman.
sensitive
Right.
makes it a negative.
If someone said, "Oh, you're too sensitive," then
sensitive.
that means, "Oh, well, I'm like taking
So
things
two is,
personally."
two
I'll
is
tell
the
you-
one that pushes
Maybe
it over
so.
the
I'll
line.
I'll tell you what I've seen, like just raising boys, is men are able to get over things faster. It's what I've seen, you know, and they don't let things get to them in that certain way that,
Oh,
that
and
sometimes
women, we like
do.
store it away.
But see, I think it's different. I think women tend to deal with it, and we can be overly sensitive or sensitive. Men hold it in, and it comes out in other ways. I don't think they get
Could
over it
be.
as quick.
So
Is
you,
that
Or-
correct?
you don't
or
think it's
push
that they
it
just don't
down.
care.
Yeah, they
You know,
suppress it.
If you suppress it, then you can kind of come across that you're not being too sensitive.
I
but
think
you
the men
still
in my
like
life just
have-
go, I just don't care.
It'll come out.
It'll come out in other ways.
in road rage when
Exactly.
you're driving down
But
the
you know what I
tollway.
think it is? I think a lot of it has to do according to when you were born. I'm serious. I'm really serious. I know
Like
I know so many men that get it out and they're over it.
Like the month
and then
you're
you
born?
Know,
You mean like
like
yours?
What sign
your
you
So,
are?
like, since I'm born in December, that means that, like, I'm not sensitive?
No, but I'm not. I don't know what Capricorn. I know.
No, I'm just
talking
saying.
about
No, I'm saying
astrology.
so depending on what month you're born in depends if you're sensitive or not sensitive. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Or you mean that?
I'm just saying that there's no blanket statement. I mean, we all get hurt. We all get
Yes.
over it. We all carry grudges. We all do all of that. You can't boil it down to men versus women. I don't think this is what human beings do.
I do
I
think, though,
agree.
men tend to be a little less, especially in the workplace. They just don't take stuff as personally, and they don't. And if they do, they have a different way
Yeah, they
of
do, I think,
expressing it,
expressing
you know, and they maybe take it home and deal
They
with
just
it there.
get even.
But you know,
Those women.
and on that note, Gary, we will.
That just pass you by when the raises come out.
We will be back with
Why you
more
always talking about how
from Gary
sensitive?
later in the show, including a
talking about
performance
sensitive.
that you don't want to miss. What song are you going to sing for us?
It's a song called "Music and the Meaning." It's a new single that's coming out
Ooh,
soon.
we're getting a little sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
Is it sensitive?
It is, of course.